Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and in honor of this wonderful holiday, okay, on my YouTube channel, I decided that today's video was very much going to be in honor of that by talking about single people. Now, do single women actually want to be single, and do men actually want to be single? Because I think a lot of times online, what we can tend to see is that women are like, oh, I'm good, I don't need a man, whatever, and then men are like, well, we're going our own way, and all these women, they're so disappointed, and all this stuff, and then these tend to be the clickbaity topics, both sides of the coin, like giving their, oh, well, we're just leaving them in the dust, and we're just better without them, you know, kind of statement, and removing themselves from the situation. And although I think that that is great for clicks, in actuality, the reality is I don't think women want to be away and alone from men, and I don't think men want to be away and alone from women. I don't think that this is true for either gender. I think what we're seeing now is people being very disappointed, trying to rebrand and make the best out of a very difficult, very hard situation. That very difficult, very hard situation being that, like, relationships are not easy, and men and women are societally taught to speak so differently about their emotions and that type of thing. And I think a lot of men are, you know, programmed to not be emotional. And so anyways, to make a long story short, we have a huge disconnect here. But in honor of all of these stupid, clickbaity, like viral videos, I'm here to say that no, I don't think anyone actually wants to be alone. I think people that are saying that are usually coming from a place of, I have to make the best out of a bad situation, so to speak. But I also think that we do live in a time where we are able to sort of figure more things out. We are able to have a little bit more freedom before we find the one. We are able to see if people could be compatible with us. We can go on this lonely hermit self-journey energy of pure pain and then end up finding someone later on. So I don't think the fact that people are kind of like experiencing marriage and this type of thing later in life or down the road, or not as early as historically speaking, I don't think that that's necessarily bad. But I think the reality is that when we see a lot of like men or women like saying that they love being alone and that's like all they want, I totally get that. Like maybe they are at a phase in their life where literally being alone is all that they could want. But I'm just trying to shine a light that I don't think anyone wants this. And Bell Hooks also speaks about this. Like, no woman actually wants to be alone, but sometimes what we're faced with, and not just women, but men as well, is just a lot of not seeing eye to eye. And when you have such painful romantic experiences, like, what's going to be forcing you to date? What's going to be forcing you to put yourself out there? But I think that our general unprecedented level of disconnection in this society has reached such a grave point that we're just kind of like, okay, is this normal now? Like, I guess I want to be alone. I guess I can do life alone. There is some good aspect to being alone. Like, you develop yourself, you become a more independent person. So I'm not saying that like being alone is in vain, but I'm just saying that I don't think everyone wants to be alone forever. I think we all would rather be together, but there's this huge amount of trauma and pain from both sides because we can't acknowledge each other's side without it becoming a war of the egos and without it being lost in translation. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about today. Don't listen to every clickbait title that you see. I think that some people are on the journey of self-discovery, but I do think that everyone, ideally speaking, would like to be romantically involved with the right person one day. It's just, you know, painful when you haven't met the one. So with that being said, I will see you guys in a future video.